Welcome to Gadget Spot. Hey, guys.
Hey.
Hey. This is our maiden voyage.
It's working out pretty well so far.
Yeah, we got a couple of uncomfortable silences already.
Yep.
Let's introduce you to the panel. Our hosts include myself, Tony. I go by Too Tall Tony or Quad T. I'd explain the Quad T, but...
This is all over my head here.
Yeah, it's from the other podcast I do, Geek Show Podcast.
You have another woman in your life?
Oh, she's the main woman. This is the other woman.
Oh, I've never been the other woman
Good
before.
times.
Yeah. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, at Quad T Tony, that's where you can find me. And stage left, we have Owen.
I do not have a Twitter account or any other podcasts. This is my primary woman. So,
Yes.
I mean, podcast. So, I don't come from any background but technology.
Tech background.
You sound like an incredibly boring guy, Owen.
We'll work on that.
That's what the podcast is for. And to the left of Owen, we have Jaren.
I'm Jaren. I go by Jaren. You can call me Jaren. My Twitter handle is at Jaren.
That's concise.
Jarron.
I like that. Did I say what mine was? At Quad T Tony?
Yeah, you said it 3 times.
Okay.
I said mine was. that
What's-
I didn't
what's
have
yours,
one.
Owen?
I do not have one.
Oh,
but
okay.
I'm gonna fix that by the time we do another one of these.
Stay tuned for the next episode, eh?
I guess I'll join you in the 21st century.
Twitter's fun. I like Twitter. I like it better than Facebook.
Face what?
Yeah, you're never on Facebook, Jaren.
Do we have to pay for that? That we just said Facebook? Do they?
No, they should pay us.
Did they hear that? Did they know?
They hear everything.
Oh no.
Yeah. So this podcast, just to let you know kind of what you're listening to here, we're all about technology, gadgets, and video games. Because that's what we do in our spare time. Because we're a bunch of nerds. Right?
Yeah.
I identify as something else, but
Well.
you can call me nerd.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. I
Yeah.
mostly identify as a geek, actually.
Yeah.
So we're a bunch of technology geeks. Because
I guess I'm bi nerd.
Yeah.
are you curiously bi nerd?
Like, with what?
Yeah, what's the other part of the nerd that you're bi?
I just wanted to make a joke.
Oh,
Oh.
it worked. Good joke. All right, so first topic of discussion here on Gadget Spot. CES, a couple of weeks ago, wrapped up.
That was one of the most boring CESs I remember.
I agree,
in
100%.
recent memory.
Yep.
Yeah. Basically, nothing exciting came out of it.
There was nothing really new or exciting. Nothing that seemed to like push the envelope in directions that we were not expecting.
Yeah. No. The only
all
exciting
just
part
Well,
was hearing that Google was not going to pair with Ford to make a driverless car. So, the letdown.
Yeah.
Was one of the most
The letdown.
exciting parts of this year's CES.
well, there was one exciting thing.
Oh, what was that?
A drone for humans.
A human drone?
Humans.
Oh, I saw a YouTube video on that.
Yeah, so basically it's like a quadricopter, but you can ride in it.
Wait, what?
Hoverboard straight up.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's not a hoverboard. Not even close.
It looks like one. Doesn't he fly it over water?
No, it's like a helicopter.
Oh,
pretty much.
it's like an inside one. I saw
Yeah.
a pedestal when you stood on.
So he just sits on it?
He goes
I'm gonna
inside
look at
of
the
it.
picture here.
Oh no.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's in the show notes. So you actually get inside, and it's like a quadricopter, and you can ride it. It's like a commuter car.
what's the
only a
point of this,
drone.
though?
To have fun.
Look at this. Here's my biggest problem right now. Claims to be able to deliver one human up to 260 pounds anywhere within a 10-mile, 23-minute flight radius.
So not me.
That's not me either.
Hey, it's 2 of me, so that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, but it's not one of me.
Unless they make like a dual mode, you can hook a couple up to with a sling underneath or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so for some people, you may have to go on a diet,
They should
But-
call this the Jaren drone.
but you can go anywhere within a 10-mile, 23-minute flight radius. So
That's round trip.
I am going to buy one of these.
You're gonna get one?
No, it's way too expensive.
What's the price on this
Just
thing?
get a helicopter.
Do they show a
You know.
price?
Since we have
Holy cow!
since we have helicopters, we should probably just maybe stick with those.
Yeah.
Since they work.
Estimated price?
$200,000 to $300,000.
Whoa!
2 to 300K.
So it's vaporware, yes.
You know, I think I'll just buy 2 Teslas and ride one.
Teslas don't fly.
Yeah, they almost do. It feels like.
Well,
I would hope anyway. I don't know. I've never ridden in one. I'm gonna pretend like it feels like it flies.
I've ridden in one. My friend has one. It's awesome, but it doesn't fly.
Are they
I can
super?
tell you that.
Are they really quiet?
Oh, yeah. It's like,
Awkwardly quiet, almost.
it kind of goes. It's kind of a little whirring as you accelerate.
Electric cars are really awkward if you do not enjoy quiet silences. Then you don't even have the hum of the engine to distract.
Well,
that.
as you're accelerating, it feels like you're in a roller coaster. So the last thing you're thinking about is what little noise it makes.
You're wondering out you just pooped your pants or something.
And I did. Luckily, they have a solution for that too. Tesla.
Those guys.
What do they do? Pipe sounds into the speakers like BMW did when their cars were too quiet?
I was talking about the pooping, actually.
Oh.
Those guys at Tesla. I got that.
Man.
I got that. That Nikola Tesla guy.
He knows his poop.
He knows his stuff.
Yeah, actually, I don't think they pump any sound. I didn't hear any sound at all.
Because I know BMW does that on... they used to, for sure. I think they still do.
I know that Chevy and Dodge those two guys, Chevrolet and Dodge, are working on acoustics.
Yeah.
To make their 6 cylinders sound like 8 cylinders.
Right.
With a Hemi.
And there's this, I had a buddy who had a BMW M5, very nice car, and it actually had motor noises that would pipe through the speakers inside the interior because people want to be able to hear the motor. Like, that's part of the driving experience. And the motor was so quiet that they decided to boost it with speaker sounds.
That was so fake.
It is. It's kind of ridiculous.
Well, Tesla, they recently announced that you can call your car, and it'll come get you.
Wait, how far from you?
I think it was something like 100 feet for now, but Elon Musk tweeted that within 2 years, you'll be able to call it from L.A. to New York.
What?
Driverless cars. Future.
Man.
But, I mean, we'll see if
It's
that
just like-
2-year claim holds up.
Oh,
he's,
yeah.
He's promised a lot in the next few years.
Yeah, he's also got that tube.
Yeah, Hyperloop.
The Hyperloop that he's
Hypertube.
The Hypertube lube.
Lube?
And I put the P on there at the end as an afterthought.
I heard it.
And yeah, he's got that. He's contracted out. He's got bids now for people to.
I don't think he contracted out anything. He just said, here's the plans.
Right. Somebody
Open
do
source.
this.
Yeah.
Somebody do this, and I'll invest in you.
Yeah. That and SpaceX. They
Successful-
struggle with that.
They're not the ones that did the successful.
They've had one successful
Re-entry.
on land. They've
Okay.
attempted 3 on barges and failed every time.
Who's
Yeah, this last
somebody?
time, though, it landed, and
Yeah.
then the leg gave out.
Well, the leg never came out is the problem. If you watch the video, you can see that there's no leg on one of the 4 sides. It didn't deploy correctly.
Say SpaceX 5 times fast.
I'm not doing
No.
that.
SpaceX.
That was only 2.
That's all it needs.
Yeah. So I don't know. My problem with that drone is what happens when you run out of battery in the air.
It'll land before batteries run out, just like a DJI Phantom. It'll land itself before it falls out of the sky.
My drone does not land itself when it gets low on batteries.
Just falls.
It stops responding.
And
I don't have one of the good ones.
You must
though,
have a
apparently.
Western family drone.
Yeah. Yep.
I didn't know they made drones.
They're into everything.
So generic. Oh, man. So another thing that I saw at CES that was pretty dang cool, like I said, not new or pushing the envelope in any new direction, but a neat evolution in the Bluetooth headphones category. These were Kickstarters, like a year and a half ago?
The Baragi Dash,
Yes. Those are cool looking.
they are freaking cool. I want some.
So they have these It's a pair of Bluetooth earbuds, and they run 3 to 4 hours on a charge, but their case will charge it up to what, 5 times?
5 times, yeah.
And it relays the Bluetooth Bluetooth signal from your device to the 2 wireless headphones, so there's no cord, nothing to get in the way when you're working out or whatever.
Wireless earbuds.
Yeah,
right.
Straight up wireless, no wires at all.
Not even connecting them.
Not even connecting the
so
two.
it broadcasts 2 simultaneous left-right signals to each side.
So the year was 2008 or 2009. I saw a movie with Ryan Reynolds in it called Definitely Maybe. Terrible movie. The only thing I remember from that movie was he had these wireless earbuds. And ever since then, I wanted them, even though they didn't exist.
I can't remember that movie. I don't know if I saw it.
I think Abigail Breslin, Ryan Reynolds.
Huh.
Really, really boring movie. But the first 5 minutes, it shows him using wireless earbuds.
Why did he have cool wireless earbuds?
I don't know. It didn't make any sense because they didn't exist at the time.
And it wasn't set in the future or anything.
It wasn't set in the future. But ever since then, I've been on a quest to get truly wireless earbuds.
Before its time.
It was. It
Like
was
Star Trek.
Ryan Reynolds before his time once again. Just like Green Lantern movie. It was just before his time.
It's coming back. We'll see. I have faith.
I'm a huge Green Lantern fan. The comic books. That movie was...
Yeah, I still haven't seen it.
Don't waste your time. So one of the neat things about these braggy Dash headphones is the way that they communicate between each other, because there's a couple other products on the market that do this. Yeah. And they struggle maintaining connection between the 2 devices because Bluetooth signal does not travel very well through a cranium.
So, Braggy, they're using what's called near-field magnetic induction to transmit the signal between your head.
Sounds like a microwave.
And there's another line of products that use this already, right?
Hearing aids.
Hearing aids. So they saw a problem, saw how someone else fixed it, and said, hey, let's apply this to our device, and made it way better than they would have otherwise.
So these Braggy Dashes, they also do fitness tracking slightly. Is that right?
Yeah, they do. They measure your heart rate and your steps. So they're kind of trying to be your fitness earbuds, but all in one, kind of the equivalent to like a Microsoft Band.
And they have like these touchpad controls like on the outside of it, so you can answer a call or
And it's got
let in ambient noise.
That's a big plus that not many Bluetooth headphones have is so when you're going to run outside, you can let in ambient noise while you're playing music. So that way you can hear the cars coming up behind you.
So you don't get run over by a truck.
Yes, exactly.
Or you can turn that off, right? Just in case you do.
In case you want to get
hit.
Yep.
Or
you're not.
And you need a lawsuit. Maybe that's why you run.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Because nobody runs for any other reason.
Because you recover
it's
quick.
Terrible.
I don't understand it.
Maybe you recover quick and you can handle it. So you're out for the...
Yeah, for the monies.
But from what I've read on these so far, people say that the audio quality is great, the build quality is great.
It has a couple other features with accelerometers built in, so you can call or you can answer and reject calls based on shaking your head and nodding your head.
Oh yeah, and they say it actually works too.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
How crazy is that? You just see someone nod their head and start talking to nobody. Nope. Oh, that guy's got some braggy dash going on. Headphone action.
There's 4 gigs of memory in it, so you can put your own MP3s on there, but who doesn't use a streaming service nowadays?
Yeah, no kidding. So,
I bet Owen doesn't.
Owen has his own streaming service.
I do.
And it is quite good.
I do have quite the library.
So, speaking of wireless streaming, let's talk about some wireless charging.
Ooh.
What do you got about that, Jaron?
So, wireless charging has been a pipe dream for hundreds of years. Hundreds. Since the dawn of time in
Shout out to Nikola
1723.
Tesla again. There he is again.
Yeah,
wireless charging.
Wireless transmission of power
Yeah.
was one of the things that he always tried to do.
Exactly. Well, the last few CES, it's always been like, oh, here's wireless charging. It'll come. But it's kind of been vaporware. And here's another vaporware thing that came out, the CES.
Add it to the pile.
But it's a right now it's just an iPhone case. So you put your iPhone in the case, and it will charge your iPhone wirelessly in the air. You don't have to set it down on a pad.
What's
or
the
a mat.
range?
I assume within your wireless network. Oh, it's actually pulling from a base.
Yeah, so it pulls from like a router type base station.
Huh. This looks like it'll give me cancer.
Yeah, more cancer. I mean, we're all getting.
We're going to get it anyway.
I mean,
it definitely will give you cancer. There's no doubt about that. But the range is from what I hear, it's like a room, so it doesn't really go through walls too well yet.
See, we need that built into the phones, though. I don't want to have to add a case.
agreed.
You know.
Well, they say that they have this chip that they're putting out. Manufacturers will be able to build it into the phone itself. But we'll see if any manufacturers take the bait.
I could see Apple looking at that and just ignoring it for the next 4 years, and then coming out with it themselves.
It'll be revolutionary.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be brand new, never before seen. Look at what we
done.
did. Because that's what Apple likes to do. They have crazy original ideas once in a while, but mostly it's, hey, this came out 4 years ago, but ours is better. It's new. Yeah.
I love Apple, don't you?
I like Apple.
I tolerate it. Aesthetically, it's
Pleasing.
So pleasing. So this router base station thingy, it can only power one device at a time at this point, but supposedly it'll switch off. So if a device gets charged enough, then it'll switch to another device, assuming you have more than one device that needs to be charged.
Is there a limit to how big the device can be? Could it work on like a laptop?
I presume so. It may not charge as fast as
I bet
plugging it in.
I bet there's a limitation to input versus output.
There's got to be.
Cell phone's output is not nearly as high as a laptop's.
Yeah.
So you're not going to be charging a refrigerator with this thing.
Some
Why not?
Some laptops.
Yeah,
wireless. If wireless phone, why not wireless TV? Power. Why don't we just build this into everything?
Can maybe charge a MacBook.
Of course, if we're sending over 120 volts across
See, there
a
you are.
wireless signal, then
Bzzzt.
There you are talking about Apple again.
Yeah, because they use really weak processors in that MacBook. They might be able to charge that.
Not everyone can afford a Razer something.
That's right.
I think the processor's on the same though, right? Intel. Apple switched to Intel about
A long time ago.
8 years ago,
Yeah, but they're using...
and it was revolutionary to them.
Right.
And they finally got on board and figured out that that's the way to go.
That MacBook has like a Core M5 or something. It's one of like Intel's weakest mobile processors.
Yeah, other companies use it as well.
I know.
You don't need
But
much
not in
to
laptop
look
form
at
factor.
Facebook and YouTube. So
Microsoft uses it in the new Surface Pro, the cheap version anyway.
the cheap version.
Microsoft. Yeah.
So speaking of batteries and such, what's this rapid charging thing that you love so much?
Oh, StoreDot. That's our new. That was actually, they did a little bit of that at CES this time too. It was kind of low key. Had to dig for it a little bit. Only CNN Money covered it.
What?
Yeah, they were the only ones that covered the StoreDot booth at CES.
That sounds promising.
but
Sounds like the owner of CNN was like, "Hey, I invested money into this.
Yeah,
do a
put it
do
up
a
there."
story about it."
The videos are pretty incredible. StoreDot, these Israeli researchers were doing Alzheimer's research, and they found these nanopeptides and these amino acids that were able to, when they aligned them, they were able to store electricity and route electricity really fast. And so they presented they were actually at CES in 2014, and they showed a Samsung Galaxy S4 go from 20% battery to 100% battery in about 38 seconds.
What?
Whoa.
Yeah. And they've been working on it. They were like, by 2016 we're going to have
Have it on the market.
We're going to have it on the market, and they still have not. It is currently 2016, but granted,
Wait. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is
man.
now. And they said they were going to have something. If you go to their website, it's pretty cool technology. It's definitely going to be the next step for battery technology. They just don't have the batteries, the connection, the interface yet. These nanotechnologies, the way they can rapidly charge a battery is pretty amazing. You go on their site, StoreDot is actually being funded. They were Kickstarter, and then they got funded. They got like $18 million in investment the first year by Samsung and all these mobile people. This is going to be the next battery source.
No, it's not.
I think it will be. There was a couple. There was another one before. Tesla was working on a battery. I forget the name of theirs, but they
Tesla the human? Tesla
the company. Yeah, since they have a very wide range of electric cars, they are working on, and their batteries that now can that battery that can run a house.
Oh yeah,
that's this line as well. They are now working on. StoreDot is currently working on getting their batteries in a car.
Okay.
And their projections, like I said, this is future tech, but their projections are 300 miles on a 5-minute charge.
What?
They're saying people charge their cars in 5 minutes, and
that's almost faster than a gas fill up.
Yeah, and it's pretty amazing. The technology's there, the application's not yet.
Yeah.
So
that's like the case with every kind of new battery tech.
Yeah, so they've got it, and the thing about these nano crystals, they call them, they also can be used for light. So they're going to be, this nanotechnology is going to be moved more into new LED displays and all sorts of TVs and things like that.
Sounds like magic.
They do sound like magic a little bit. So
this is why batteries suck. Every 3 months or so, you hear about this new leap in battery technology, and it never ever comes to market.
Never happens.
I've been reading about batteries that are going to last for weeks, for like 5 years.
Right.
And I've never seen anything like it. I'll bet the military has it, though. The government.
It's going to kind of work the same way that fuel economy did, where the price of gas went up, and so they improved the tech on the other side, on the car side. So, engineering's been steadily improving in cell phones and computers over the last, 8 years or so. And I think that now the batteries are going to get a big talk, TikTok, and so they're going to have a big talk here soon. And
they need to. I mean, like you said, you can definitely see that the way that mobile processors and things like that really just sip that power now.
Yep.
I mean, it's crazy the advancements that they've made in that respect. Battery tech, though, using like the same lithium-ion batteries in your phones that have been around for
decades.
Yeah.
Yeah, these Israeli researchers were actually looking for a cure for Alzheimer's, and that's how they came across this, because they were trying to find ways to make brain cells connect and nano, and so the nanotechnology they discovered was, when they figured that out, they found out they could use it to charge electricity. And
interesting.
It allows most of the batteries nowadays, if you want to rapidly charge it, the battery has a natural resistance inside the battery,
right?
And it can't flow,
right.
at speed. So this nano part, these nano sheets they put between the battery cells and allows it to quickly.
And so this tech isn't going to lengthen the life of the battery per charge. It's just about charging it quickly.
Yeah, rapidly charging it. Currently, and this was on one of the videos that you can find, is that it shows, and it just like the wireless adapter that Jaron was talking about for the iPhone that pulls it out of the air. This one's a case that you slide your device into with a modified battery. So the battery itself had copper pins because it has to be able to access the core of the battery rapidly. So you have to have a special battery and then also a special case.
Oh wow!
And then a big. They have currently there's like 3. They have different versions. And one can charge. They call them the 20 and the 100, and they name them that for the speed at which it charges 20 times faster and 100 times faster. So
jeez.
They say that the 100 times faster will charge fully charge a cell phone battery in like 5-10 seconds or something like that. It's pretty crazy stuff, but I think that this one actually has been cooking for a couple years now, and I think this year, maybe next year, we'll start to see real progress on battery.
Mark that on your calendar, folks.
Let's hold Owen accountable.
Yeah, hey, hold me accountable. I think engineering has kind of got as far as it can go as far as efficiency at this point.
Well, I mean, you
compared to size.
you're definitely right to a point, because we're hitting 14 nanometer architecture on CPUs and GPUs and things like that, and they're getting to the point where it's exponentially harder to shrink the die
Right.
any further than they already have. No,
Yeah.
they'll find a way around it, because they always do.
Nature finds a way.
But
Jurassic Park has ever taught us anything.
thank you, Jeff Goldblum. But yeah, I'd rather that battery tech advanced than we rely on smaller and smaller CPU dies and engineering and stuff like that.
Well, we'd still have heating concerns in smartphones. You don't want your smartphone to be hot when
Well,
you're
yeah.
holding it.
Yeah.
Going to
Yeah.
be some fun consumer reviews there. See if these stored up batteries
Explode when they're charging.
explode
It'll probably
when they
explode like a hoverboard.
right.
Hoverboard
Quote, hoverboard quote.
or a Dell laptop from 2006 or
Hey-oh.
I'd take that, Dell. yeah. So they did showed off a few more things at CES with panel technology, display technology, and you're not seeing anything huge like the jump from 1080p to 4K. What you're seeing now is a lot of improvements as far as color reproduction, contrast ratios, things like that. HDR.
So that's the next big thing in television, HDR. Now, people have been talking about this for probably a year now, quite a long time. But instead of increasing the resolution, it's increasing contrast and colors and actually making the picture look better instead of higher resolution.
Stuff you're going to be able to notice from across the room when you're not right in front of the panel, because that's where 4K's biggest failure is that you have to either have a screen that is just enormous, 80 inches, or you need to be sitting 6 feet away from the screen.
Now, there's a few competing HDR standards right now. They haven't decided on a particular standard.
We got Blu-ray and HD DVD
All over again.
and oh wait, that's not what they are. But yeah, that happened.
So one of them is called Dolby Vision, and one of the more interesting sets that came out that I think is interesting is surprisingly a TCL set. It's a Chinese company. But anyway, it's a TCL set, and they're usually much cheaper than your average TV.
A lot cheaper.
A lot cheaper. But it's 4K, and it has Dolby Vision in it, so it's Dolby Vision certified.
Now,
so it's a cheap set that looks good, in theory.
Well, they just need to get Walmart involved, and then just like the Blu-ray HD competition, we can put that to bed, right?
just put it to bed. I did
I'd
notice.
take that TV to bed with me anytime.
Heyo! I did notice that Costco is now selling 1 or 2 TCL panels.
Oh, really?
Yeah, not that one. That one's not on the market yet, but I did see a couple of TCL TVs last time I was at Costco. See, the interesting thing is, for the most part, the TCL stuff I've seen is very mediocre.
Generic.
Very generic, run-of-the-mill. The quality is fine. It's not great. It's not bad, unless you go their super cheap stuff. But the fact that this is HDR Dolby Vision certified means that it had to meet specific standards in picture quality to get that certification. So
Let's hope they sell it in the United States.
yeah, that's the next thing, is hopefully it comes out in the U.S. But the fact that it had to meet specific certifications means, yeah, even though the company makes really cheap stuff, this one has Dolby's stamp of approval that says, yep, this makes a quality picture.
So it's due to launch in the U.S. this spring, so we'll see if it actually happens. Let's hope that it does. But
That's your unicorn, Jaron.
yeah, indeed.
A cheap, big 4K HDR television.
It looks like it doesn't come with much smart TV features, doesn't have 3D, but I don't care about that stuff. I already have my own set-top box. So.
I would be honestly 100% okay if TVs never included another smart feature ever again.
They're all
To slow them down? You mean a slow feature?
Yeah, a slow feature.
That's what they do.
It's exactly what they are. They're junk. I've never seen a TV with a good built-in smart TV interface. They're all crap.
My friend has a Vizio M series. It's a 4K set. The smart TV features look terrible. I mean, the interface has icons that are. It looks like it's 480p icons blown up to 4K resolution. So it's all
Jeez.
blurry, it's slow, but the picture looks pretty good.
smart TV interfaces and software is about as good as the PlayStation 3 OS responsiveness.
Hey,
No, I'm going there. That was the sluggish OS.
don't touch my Sony.
Even after everything that they did to try and improve it, that OS was still just junk.
It took only 20 seconds to open the PlayStation Store.
Oh
maybe,
my gosh.
Maybe 2 minutes. That's not too bad.
Compared to snail mail, or, I mean, going downstairs and finding the disc yourself and then bringing it back upstairs and putting it in.
Well, I got no response to that.
You know, I mean, Microsoft wasn't in a super better position, but they were definitely a better position with the 360. And now you look at the PS4, still fairly sluggish responsiveness.
Bull crap.
It's fairly sluggish.
Even for their smart apps.
Compared to the Xbox One, a weaker system. The OS is faster on the Xbox One. It's also more intuitive.
Well, you got Microsoft making the software. Sony can't make software.
I know. They need to bring someone in, like Microsoft.
If you combined Sony's hardware with Microsoft software,
That would be cool. I would be down with that.
That's what I was told. The PS4 was going to be like the holy grail of the processors, and kind of came out.
So far, it's been a grail.
It's been a
I don't know if it's the holy grail.
Yeah.
I like my PS4. I play it on a semi-regular basis.
PS4 is the only console I have besides a PS3.
That's a personal choice, though.
Very personal.
Yeah, well, I'm one of those weirdos that has pretty much one of everything. I got
Literally one of everything.
I do. I have a PS4, Xbox One, a new 3DS, PlayStation Vita, a gaming computer, and a Wii U. So if a game comes out, I can play it. Doesn't matter what platform.
He doesn't have any friends, strangely.
Well, you know, I spend all my money on games and consoles. I don't pay my friends like you.
Yeah.
wait. You pay him?
No. He pays me.
Oh. Well, we got to get something set up here because we're friends now too, Jared.
Get on Twitter and we'll
So
talk.
okay.
Just kidding.
How do you? I don't know if I'm technically savvy enough to get on Twitter.
Dude, you can get on Twitter. Trust me.
Not to brag, but my Twitter handle is just my first name.
See, that's an accomplishment
It
right
is.
there. 'Cause
Not many people can claim that.
I'll tell you what.
because it's spelled weird.
No.
Yeah.
Well, is it spelled weird? I guess
There's many different Jarens,
Yeah.
but Jaren Collins, I think he is or was an NBA
Was.
basketball
I don't
player.
think he plays anymore.
I don't know anything about sports, but he spelled his name exactly like mine.
Yeah. Maybe that's why I think it's more common, because those are the only two Jarens I've ever met or seen.
Dude, he's too dumb for Twitter.
Jaren Collins?
Is he on there? Sorry, maybe he's already on Twitter and I'm not. I don't know.
Jaren Collins?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
We should research
He hasn't
that.
asked
I'm
me for
sorry
my
if he
Twitter
listens.
handle, so-
If he listens to this, big fan of your sports stuff.
Of your sports things,
Like,
sports balls.
with the baskets, right?
Yep.
Baskets.
Making the baskets.
Got it. I nailed that one. Okay.
What is this on here? I have no idea what you're referring to.
Demon Saw.
Demon Saw. What?
Demon Saw. So if you guys we talk about CES a lot, but you guys have heard of DEF CON that they do?
Heard of
Yeah,
it.
the hacking
The
convention.
hacking convention. Pretty crazy stuff. I have just got my bachelor's degree in network security, and,
Oh,
we went through this. One of the guys actually is a contractor that does like government work, and so they send him to DEF CON. I have not yet been. There's actually a local one here in Utah called 801 DEF CON.
Okay.
They've got a YouTube channel, and they actually do events locally that you can go to, and they will show you crazy things like how to break Windows OS no matter what it is, boot into it in like 30 seconds and stuff like that. But at DEF CON this year, they had actually it was last year's DEF CON 2015. They previewed Demon Saw, and Demon Saw. So we all know Snapchat, kind of, that send it and forget it type thing.
Yeah, like
Yep.
it, quote doesn't exist
doesn't
anymore.
exist
Unquote.
anymore.
After you send it.
So this guy, straying to politics a little bit, he's a 2016 presidential candidate.
Ted Cruz,
No, he's
Donald Trump.
way crazier than Trump.
Hillary Clinton.
Bernie Sanders.
No,
Huh.
John McAfee.
Donald Trump.
John McAfee.
Oh.
He's crazier than Donald
Yeah,
Trump.
so that,
Nobody's
I
crazier.
think I would agree with
John
that.
McAfee.
Okay, John McAfee's
yeah.
crazier than
I
Donald
thought it was
Trump.
McAfee.
Yep. He's a Belizean law enforcement fugitive. You know,
Belize?
Belize is where he was picked up.
What?
Yeah. So
You can almost get away with anything in Belize.
and he's a fugitive there. Like I said, he's crazy. No, John McAfee. If you're listening, big fan. McAfee.
I think it's McAfee.
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 Is it McAfee?
I have no idea.
We're gonna
I don't see an A between the M
we're gonna
and
go
the
with
C.
We're gonna with McAfee.
There's an A between the C and the A.
No.
Nope. Nope.
Now I'm just confused.
A guy with way too much money, or maybe not enough. I don't know. But he supported this hacker kid that has come up with this protocol for file transferring that it's built into using the Tor router and
Right.
it's pretty crazy encryption. It's basically the same idea for file sharing that Snapchat does with communications, where it's supposed to not exist, except for the fact that this one actually doesn't exist. It's based off a new idea called social encryption.
Social encryption.
Social encryption.
How's that work?
So normally when you create a key for a secure connection, that key, 2048, 4096, whatever, can
Right.
eventually be broken down.
Sure.
This one, the protocol, from what I've understood, I've actually been reading up on it a little bit. It uses something you know as your key.
Okay.
So you create something unique based on you for every transaction, and it then generates a new key for every file transfer, and then removes all trace. So on the host systems, obviously that's where the weakest link is, right?
Right.
Because you don't know who you're sending something to, what they're going to save. So you can't account for that. But Daemon Cell works under the idea of the transport, so it hides all that.
It hides all the information of where it came from.
Where it came from and where it's going, more importantly. So obviously the Onion Router, anybody that knows anything about it, Tor, can be hacked
Yep.
in a way. You can't see where something's coming to and coming from or going to, but you can watch the inputs and outputs. You can watch basically the gateways of the Tor router and track things that way. Once it leaves the Tor router, it's fair game. And so this Daemon Saw actually has the Tor router built into its protocols. And
Okay.
what makes it more frightening is that it's this idealistic kid. He went by Elijah before he was named. But he built this app, and he got John McAfee to
fund it.
to fund it. He got the funding there, and it's actually taken off. It's actually been very troublesome. I mean, we as a nation, right? We give up security, privacy for safety. There's the trade-off.
Yeah.
And obviously in the news there have been a lot of the cell phone data handling and all that we've fought about. And what I think some of these people that get so excited about privacy and secure data transfer don't realize that it can be used by the bad guys as well.
Right.
And it's not just cool for us privacy having and loving people. It's also very useful for sending secure information for terrorists or other things to make it,
other illegal
illicit activities. So
dark web stuff,
right? And so Daemon Saw it's been really popular with illicit online stuff. It's like child pornography is one of the things that DEF CON talked about, and things like that, where these people can now send files with basically truly anonymously as far as the network's concerned. It randomizes and changes it so much. So it's pretty scary stuff, but like the technology behind it's pretty cool for the way that they built this to one off a new route from end to end. So
now let's talk about the more important part of this. Daemon Saw. Doesn't that sound like a pro wrestler's name?
I know, right? Bone Saw.
Yeah, that's I immediately thought of Macho Man from Spider-Man.
Yeah.
1. Huh.
Yep.
So I don't know. I feel a little conflicted about this because the technology behind it's cool, and I could see how it'd be very useful, but it could also be put to nefarious use Very easily. I mean, just as easily as it could be put to good use.
Actually easier, because nefarious use doesn't require any type of oversight.
That's true.
You just start using it. Here, they would probably require some sort of, is this okay?
Yeah.
How does this actually work? What's the trackability? Nefarious, they just start using it.
Ooh.
So, anyway, Demon Saw, good stuff. You go read some more on that, because
Interesting.
if you do want to send secure files, if you do have, I mean, and like I said, there are good uses for this. If you need to transfer legal documents from,
right, you don't want that being tracked or seen by
anybody, right?
Besides the person you're sending it to.
So there are some positive uses for it, but
yep.
So on to lighter things.
Yes.
What games are you playing?
Rick and Morty, Pocket Mortys.
What?
Yeah, that's right. We're actually got to wrap this up pretty quick because my laptop's about to die, and that means no more recording. Listen to that. Does that come out of the phone? Oh, it's not. It's coming out of my Bluetooth speaker.
There we go.
Yes. Oh, I love this show.
That's the theme from Rick and Morty. So, Pocket Mortys. It's basically you take Rick and Morty assets, art assets, sound drops, things like that, and they've turned it into a Pokemon clone.
Yes.
You collect Mortys from different dimensions and fight other Mortys and their owners. It's and when you're playing it, a lot of the times people play their mobile games with the sound off. If you can, play it with the sound on. Because if you appreciate this cartoon, you're going to love all the sound bites and the sound clips and everything.
Finally, something to do in the year and a half or 2 years or whatever it's going to take for shows to come back.
Oh, yeah. Because that show is so great.
I've seen it. I've watched it probably 3 times.
Yeah.
The
I'm
whole
still
series.
in season 1.
Have you started it?
I'm midway through season
Okay. Yeah, I love that show. So, yeah, Pocket Mortys, it just dropped a couple days ago on iOS and Android devices. Check it out. It's free. I'm really enjoying it so far.
And this is a guy that never plays mobile games.
No, I don't play mobile games.
Because he's a hardcore gamer.
That's right. Hardcore. That's me being hardcore.
Not very hardcore.
No, because I really hardly ever play mobile games because I figure if I have time to play games, I'm going to play the games that I paid lots of money for each title or the system to play it on or whatever. So the fact that this got me playing a mobile game, that's impressive.
Can't play games on the toilet though. I mean, you need something.
That's what Pocket Mortys. That's what Pocket
right.
Mortys comes in.
That is right.
You run along, collect a couple Mortys while you're leaving a few things behind.
Yep.
And
Play Pocket Mortys while you touch your Pocket Mortys?
no. I don't really know what that means, but I'm going to say no.
I want to say yes.
Other than that, got to get my Fallout 4 on. Playing some DLC for The Witcher 3. Love The Witcher.
I downloaded Drive Club this morning. In fact, it was super cheap on PSN.
It was like $12 or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, $12. And although that game got really bad press when it first came out, from what I've seen, they fixed things up, and I'm enjoying it quite a bit. I usually don't like racing games.
Nice. It's a beautiful game.
It is.
Very, very pretty game. So I think in upcoming episodes we're going to hit games a little harder because we do plenty of that in our spare time as well. We just didn't really have time this time. Owen, what are you playing though?
I'm an Xbox One newbie.
Yeah.
So
Xbox.
I've just been dipping my toes in with a couple games. I've got the new Halo 5
Great game
that I play through, and story mode on that. I like that. The story there, I like that a lot. And it just like a really bad trilogy movie that is going to be made for a trilogy. So
cliffhanger
it
ending.
Cliffhangers you really bad and kind of bugged me because the gameplay was actually pretty short for the in-game stuff. So, and the online stuff for me has been pretty unimpressive with what I used to play. But they've got a whole bunch more game modes that I'm exploring. So
we should set that up one night and play online together.
Yeah,
play some Halo 5.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I don't have an Xbox, so I can't participate.
Maybe someday.
You can come in as a guest. We'll bring you in as a guest. We can play some.
That's very thoughtful.
Set Player 2 is what they call that. I know you're not used to that, but they call it Player 2.
Yep. Good times. Love the video games. So, That's about it. Let's put a bullet in it. Just to wrap it up, this has been Gadget Spot. And if you want to follow any of us on Twitter, mine is @QuadTTony. Jaron is @Jaron.
Indeed.
And Owen is going to get a Twitter.
Soon. Very, very soon.
We'll see you next time.